All right. It's so weird to do that.
Yeah.
Yo, this is No Comment. We got 3 cameras now. What's up? And what's up? You can't see me over there. But this is No Comment. My name is Akil. And today I have
Rich Marino.
Rich Marino here. Rich is a good friend of mine. And it's really funny. I want to go over exactly how we met. But introduce yourself. Tell them what they need to know. Any Instagrams, Twitters, all that fun stuff.
Well, I'm starting up a blog about electric cars. It'll eventually be on evevangelist.com.
Boom!
It's not up yet, still under construction. Been putting a lot of time into it, but it's still a work in progress.
Still a work in progress. And then as for like social media, you don't use social media. You use Snapchat, but that's like more personal.
No, yeah, that's not really a big social media guy.
Yeah,
I mean, a little bit of a web 1.0 guy, you might say.
Yeah, understandable, man. I wasn't into social media for the longest time. Like I have like mini breaks where I just don't talk. Like I don't use them at all. I just stay away from Instagram.
Yeah.
But lately, you don't have me on Instagram.
I don't have anyone on Instagram because I don't have an Instagram.
Exactly. So I've been like a lot more active out of nowhere, but it's whatever. It's for some people, it's for not. It's not.
Maybe I'll get into it. It's not right now. Certainly.
But yeah. So before you guys even watch this, go check out his blog that he's about to start up soon. It's about electric cars, and you actually own a Tesla, which is fucking awesome. And you let me ride in it on the way here.
I love that thing. It's the best car I've ever owned.
It's the best car. We're going to talk about that. I want to talk about that first. But before we do that, as you guys could tell, we have Hurry Up With My Damn Croissant by Kanye West. It was actually painted by this girl by the name of Martina Claire. I don't know her exact art page on Instagram, but I'll put it up somewhere over here so you guys can check it out. She paints beautiful little tiny paintings like these. This was really cheap, but she does big murals as well. So go check that shit out. All right. Rich, what the fuck is up?
Another
Thank
day
you for being on.
Another day in paradise.
Another day in paradise. So let's just quickly talk about how the F we met, okay? I was at Sky Room. Shitty Prosecco's. We're going to talk about that.
That was some fucking bad Prosecco. Prosecco, usually you pay like $4 for the bottle, you get a good one. It's like, I've never had bad Prosecco before.
That's what I'm saying. I don't even know how much that was because Max bought mine. But yeah, so I was at... The Hooch app. Yes. That's why it was free. That's the reason.
So we don't know how much it cost.
It was fucking free. That's why it was so bad. But yeah, so Max is a really good friend of mine, and we went to Sky Room because there's this app, Hooch, obviously. That's the reason you were there. Mm-hmm. That's the only reason probably anybody was there.
Given that time in the night.
Yeah, right after work.
Maybe it's nicer other nights of the week. Actually, it was a Friday, so it was too close to work. It was like 5:30 in the afternoon.
So there's this app called Hooch that we've been using a lot more often. It's so essentially what it does is it has featured bars across New York City, and you pay about $10 a month, and it gives you one free drink once a day.
Do you buy it by the month? I buy it by the year for about $100, so I get a little bit of discount in that.
What? I did not know they had that.
You can do
but
it.
I wouldn't do that. You know why? Mainly, personally, me, I wouldn't because then I would be obligated to go all the time. At least with this, it's like I'm paying $10 a month. That's not a lot because even if I went and bought a drink,
$9 a month. I mean, if you drink one drink a month, you come out ahead in New York.
$17 just for one. So you already beat that. So you're already saving no matter what. And it said I saved up to $33 to date or some shit like that. But I would get obligated to start drinking if I get the yearly one because I'd be like, damn, I'm putting $100 down. I'm going to want to go out all the time.
It hasn't affected my drinking habits in any way. And I actually signed up for it before I lived in a Hooch city. I signed up while I lived in Seattle. My friend was in Dallas. I was seeing him a lot while we were down there. He's like, yo, get this app. I'm like, okay, this is smart. So we'd go out only pretty much on the weekends because I was in town. So we'd actually kind of abuse it a little bit. We'd do Thursday night, we'd get one at 11:30, and then we'd get one after it rolled over into Friday at 12:30. So it's like, we could do that. Just tip the bartender. Tip the bartender.
Yeah, so that they don't give you shitty Prosecco. But so at Sky Room, they gave us Prosecco because it was one of the things on the list. It was only 2 things. It was Prosecco and some other crappy drink. And they gave us Prosecco because I was like, yo, it's Friday. Me and Max want to get lit somewhat. Let's get some champagne. And you get the Prosecco, and it's the worst Prosecco in the world. But that's probably why you and Max started talking is because you guys were
we started talking about shitty Prosecco.
Hey, how's this shitty Prosecco? And then you just started a conversation off of that.
Yeah.
And then from there, we went from Sky Room. We met you. And
we went out with Max's coworkers, I think.
Yeah, we ended up at some random Irish bar. That bar was really cool, actually.
That was pretty cool. Yeah,
it was cool. We had a good time. So the thing is, with bars, right? I don't mind having a bar that has going to a bar that has a club in it with a lounge and all that stuff. That's cool. If it's too loud and the music is playing on top of that, that just doesn't make me want to go to
that's
the bar.
when you go to a nightclub for that sort of atmosphere.
Exactly.
You want to dance hard, like nightclub. Go to Chelsea at night. It's
Exactly.
not at 6 p.m.
Exactly. I mean, me just generally like I like going to bars where I could actually like talk to people.
That's why I go to the bar. Like,
Exactly.
It's a social occasion in the most primitive way.
Yeah, and those Irish bars are called dive bars, right? Those are essentially that bar we went to.
So a dive bar is just like a kind of a local bar. It doesn't have to be Irish or an Irish bar doesn't necessarily have to be divey. It's like,
they
it's
kind
like
of all look the same though, if you really think about it.
Yeah, it's like the bar feel is.
Yeah, it's all the same.
Most historic bars in the U.S. looked a lot like an Irish bar, a lot of wood. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
So the divey kind of going in line with Irish. I mean, there are very nice and there are fancy Irish bars out there that would not be divey, I'd say, but
exactly. It's really funny, man. We were supposed to do this podcast like at least 3 weeks ago. Because when did we meet? Like 3 weeks?
This is all.
Weeks?
I think it's closer to a month. Almost a month. No, it was in April. So and it's the last day of April we're filming on.
Yes.
So that would have.
I was thinking maybe like 3 weeks.
Probably 3 weeks ago.
3 weeks.
Whenever it was the weekend when the Roosevelt Island Cherry Blossom Festival was.
I don't know when that is.
But
that sounds cool.
Well, because that was the day after we had. Maybe it been actually a week after we met.
Yeah. Either way, I mean,
that was a whole ruckus.
Dude, it was supposed to be 3 weeks since we were supposed to podcast. We had all these topics. I took like a Snapchat video telling people like, "Hey, I just met this cool guy, Rich. We're gonna talk about guns, Tesla, electric cars, his blog, and all this stuff." And then that just never came. But obviously, we're here now, which is awesome. And on the way here, I work in the city. You work in the city as well. You actually live in the city.
I do live in the city.
And surprisingly enough, you said you'll drive me home, and I was like, are you serious? Like, you want to leave the city during rush hour to drive me home? But surprisingly enough, we got home in like 45 minutes.
Yeah, it was.
How fast you guys got home.
Dude, and we stopped at Chick-fil-A. We stopped by Chick-fil-A in Woodbridge and still made it here in like 50 minutes.
Considering we got stuck at the beginning going into Lincoln Tunnel, something had happened.
Oh my God! You keep saying you got stuck, but we really didn't.
We were sitting there for a good 4 or 5 minutes.
It was like we stopped in front of the Lincoln Tunnel because it said it was closed. It had like a red X.
It had the red stoplight.
I was like, damn, we can't go through it. We wait 45 seconds, it opens up, and he's like, that was the longest wait of my life. And I'm like,
I didn't say it was the longest wait of my life.
But yeah, so I rode in your Tesla. Dude, Teslas are so fucking cool. And like, I was like fangirling over yours when I first came into the garage. And
got your camera out.
Yeah, I had my camera. I was thinking like a vlog video of that thing when I got in, because it's not something that I'm gonna be sitting in often, unless you're trying to convince me.
We could change that.
Yeah, I am trying to convince myself to get a Tesla. And but because it's all energy powered, I was
electric powered.
Sorry, electric powered. Sorry about that. There's no revving. There's no delays when you slam on the acceleration.
It's quiet. It's fairly simple. The driveline is relatively a simple machine as things go.
Yeah.
It's pretty easy to maintain, very low maintenance, no oil changes, anything like that. It's just an absolute joy to drive and joy to own it. The worst thing is like if I dent the body or something like that, that's very expensive. Cars, aluminum.
Yeah.
So body parts are ludicrously expensive. Like you look online for like total Teslas and you see like a piece of the quarter panel and a piece of a door is screwed up. It's like, oh, come on. It's like they totaled the car for that. It's like, yeah, they'll total the car for that because that'll be like $20,000 a repair. So that's
$20,000.
It's bad also because we don't have aftermarket body parts.
Right.
Only Tesla makes the parts.
Yeah. And they can charge you however much they want.
Yes. And in their defense, they do have trouble making enough parts. Like once in a while they'll have trouble making Model S's. They've been having intermittent trouble making Model 3s.
Right.
And given the circumstances they have, I'd say they've done a fairly impressive job.
I think they did, man. I think it's really, really cool. I mean, just sitting in that thing, I've watched countless videos. I've watched countless like Top Gear videos. I've watched countless
Top Gear didn't like it. The car doesn't make enough noise, and they tried to slam. Really didn't like it.
No, that's really funny.
A lot of car guys, though, it's like, it doesn't make any noise. I don't want it.
Go ahead. You can put it back on. Just clip it on really well. Yeah, you could push it all the way in.
Can I put it like directly below my?
You could honestly, put it.
In here. Can I do it here?
Yeah, put it in the fold. Yeah,
that might be better.
That's so much better. Okay, cool. No, dude, it's really funny that you say that because I was like playing Forza the other day, and all the cars are like you rev up and it's fun to race and stuff. So I tried the Tesla. And it was actually a race with all Teslas. Literally you could fall asleep, bro, because there's no noise. It's just you cruising around like the scenery, and there's no noise. It's the funniest thing.
It actually simulates it correctly.
It's like you driving in a library.
It has a tachometer. It's like 0 to 18,000 RPM, which is actually the correct speeds for the motor in.
But it just doesn't make noise.
Yeah, it doesn't make any noise. It's like,
yeah.
I mean, do they simulate like the electric motor noise, like
exactly
like the spaceship noise?
No, that's what they did, right? I don't
that's
know if
real life though. It's,
no, right? No. Didn't they like? I think for like the Roadster, the Tesla Roadster, it's all electric, but they fabricate or make
Tesla
a fake engine revving noise.
No, Tesla never did it.
Who was it then?
It's
probably like some other electric supercar. I thought it was like another.
Somebody definitely did it. I know there are at least some cars that do it. I don't know what they are.
Which I think is hilarious. It's like
Congress wanted to mandate this.
Buying that thing if you wanted to just make noise. It's like just buy a regular car.
We couldn't irritate people. BMW amplifies the noise of the engine in some of their cars through the stereo system. So.
Wait, what?
Yeah, BMW actually like amplifies the engine noise for the guys that like. I want my car to make noises. It'll actually have a microphone next to the engine and play it through the stereo speakers.
What? Are you serious?
No silly way. People.
I didn't know that. That's amazing. Okay, so yeah, I mean, look, you've been driving this Tesla for like how long now?
So almost 3 years now, which I guess would end up being almost a third of my driving life. Actually, I've been driving electric daily.
Are you? Yeah. No, but you were telling me about all these different places that you've driven this Tesla to.
So
how many miles you have?
About 83,000. I picked the car up. I bought a showroom car.
Damn, dude, 3 years, 83,000?
Yeah, so I picked it up with 8,000 miles on it. But
okay.
Showroom car, great deal. Saved maybe $11,000 off the sticker price.
Yeah.
Just by saying, I said it's electric drivetrain. The miles don't really matter that much. Plus, it's been out on the road for 8,000 miles. Any factory warranty issues, most of that will be taken care of. There've been very little issues since then.
Oh, so that's the thing. So if it has 100,000 miles on it, it doesn't really matter.
It's not nearly as bad as like with a gas car where you can say, 100,000 miles, car is old. It's like, no, car's not old. It doesn't really age. The motor's rated for 1 million miles.
Really?
Yeah.
So how often would you ever have to really replace that motor then? Like after a certain amount of years? Like 5,
I don't know. So the only time I've ever heard of anyone replacing a motor is if something workmanship issue, like the crank was damaged or he got into an accident. That's one case. That's an edge case, we'll say.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just been workmanship issues, like something rattled. So.
Yeah. I mean, you haven't gotten into any serious accidents with that thing, though, right?
I haven't gotten in any appreciable accidents at all.
Yeah.
And I hope to not be in any because of the cost to repair.
Knock on wood, bro. But not only that, but another thing was that screen, though. That screen is
17-inch touchscreen.
That's what I'm saying. But the thing is, like, just looking at that thing, like, I'm watching you drive. You have autopilot on, which, by the way, is extra. You have to pay extra for that thing, right?
I had to pay extra. You still have to pay extra. It was a little bit less when I bought it back in 2016. It was, I think, $2,500 for that.
Oh, that's half the price. It's $5,000.
Yeah, so it had gone up to $3,000. Then it went, if I recall correctly, and then it's now $5,000.
Yeah.
Especially with the Model 3. When the Model 3 came out, they jiggled all the pricing around.
Yeah.
I think the supercharging was $2,500 also around that
What's
time.
the supercharger one?
So that's I can go to the fast chargers on the side of the road. At the time, when I had bought the car, you got unlimited charging for life with the supercharger. If you buy one of those cars from someone other than Tesla, you'll continue to have that.
Right.
But if you can't get a car from Tesla with the lifetime charging anymore.
So
it basically means I can't sell the car.
So, but, I mean, it shows you like marked locations where all the chargers are, right?
If you use the dashboard GPS to navigate somewhere and you're going to arrive with below 5% state of charge, it'll try to route you through a supercharger.
Oh, that's
and it'll even tell you how long you have to stay there. Like, go to the Molly Pitcher Service Plaza, stay there for 10 minutes, and you'll make it to Delaware.
That's awesome.
A bad example because that's not a very far drive from you.
Right. That's awesome, though. That's still cool. Yeah, but with that, like, I'm surprised that you were able to travel to half the places that you traveled because you said you made it to all the way to Seattle.
Oh, I bought the car in Seattle.
Oh, you bought the car in Seattle? I bought the car in
Seattle.
Okay. But so you drove it all the way here to New York, though, right?
Yes. So immediately after getting the car, I took a trip down to LA, and that was the only time I've really had range anxiety, and it was unfounded because there are a lot of superchargers on I-5 on the West Coast.
There are
a lot of superchargers. Many superchargers, yeah.
Yeah.
So it really wasn't a problem. At the beginning, I was being very paranoid. I was like, we got to stop at all the charges and make sure it's like 80% just in case. And then on the way back, even like a week later, it's like, oh, this is no problem. I just charge up to enough to make it to the next stop. Time-wise, you actually want to arrive with as low a state of charge at the supercharger as possible.
Yeah.
Because you charge, with a low state of charge in the battery, you charge at a much quicker rate than when the percentage is high.
Oh, okay.
So you get like 0 to 60, you can get
okay.
in like a half hour.
Yeah.
It's the same as with a cell phone. Like you get up to 80% pretty quickly, and then after that it's just glacial, especially after like 95, 96, it's really slow.
Yeah.
So it's very apparent and matters a lot when you're doing a long over-the-road trip.
Right.
So you try to arrive with as low a state of charge as possible when you get to the supercharger. Charge up enough that you can make it to the next supercharger.
Yeah.
Driving as fast as possible. So as this energy consumption does, of course, increase as the speed goes up. You have drag, which is velocity squared. It's not as bad as people say. Like you have to be probably going about 120 miles an hour to get double bad fuel consumption.
Right.
90 miles an hour it's not linear. 90 miles an hour is not 1.5 times fuel consumption.
Right.
Maybe
I mean, either way, you didn't really have to worry that much because there's a
no.
Tesla's headquartered where?
Fremont, California, in
better.
Silicon Valley.
So you know they have to have a lot of superchargers all over the place in California.
There are, and there's a lot of cars in California.
Exactly.
Like if you go, even if you back then, 2015, 2016, you go to California, you see them everywhere. And
because of what, like for Priuses and stuff like that?
So there's actually a little bit of a political thing in there. Like the Hollywood guys, they were all buying Priuses, and they're like, oh, I got to look like I'm doing good to the environment, so I bought a Prius. Right. And then as soon as the Model S came out, it was like, this car is good for the environment, or so people say it looks.
And it's
good
fast.
For the environment. It's fast. It's nice.
Yeah, it's sleek.
It's much nicer to drive in than a Prius.
Exactly.
All Hollywood bought them like crazy. Silicon Valley bought them like crazy.
Yeah,
and they're good cars.
It's like the Silicon Valley car, honestly.
It is. If you go to Bay Area, you see them everywhere. Like tech guys all crazy about them. They have Model 3s everywhere.
Yeah.
The first time I saw a Model 3, I was on a trip to California, actually about a year ago. So a couple months after the car had come out. It was like, oh, I'm driving the 101. It's like, oh, Model 3. There's another one. Another one. I haven't seen any of these back home yet.
Yeah. I mean, that's really convenient. You know?
Yeah. So, but right
and
now
here
you see
in
a lot.
New Jersey too, we had a couple. Like we
It's
passed by one
more recently. Yeah. I'd still say it's probably more in California. Like you go to town in California, there's just parking lots of them.
Of course, yeah.
It's like the major markets are probably California, the Northwest, so Seattle, Portland. New York is starting to develop well. South Florida also.
Yeah.
South Florida and DC. South Florida though, you have a law that lets you drive in the HOV lane, the high occupancy vehicle lane, by yourself if you have an electric car. So a lot of people are buying.
Driving an electric car.
Yes, so a lot of people are buying Teslas and using that on their commute because traffic is terrible down there.
Yeah.
So people get the sticker, driving the HOV lane.
The only thing I will say though, the only thing I can't get over in that car. Well, first of all, like when I sat in that thing, it's so futuristic. It's amazing. Oh my God, it's so techy. It's more because you're the one that told me Tesla was a tech company first before it was a car company.
It is a tech. Well, it's still a tech company.
Right. It just happens to make cars. Yeah,
they've got a lot more in common with Apple than they have with Ford in terms of like what types of positions they hire, what types of people they hire.
Right.
They act like a tech company.
Right.
So office is tech.
But so the thing about that Tesla is like, one, it's futuristic. It is minimal. It's beautiful. It's sleek. It looks so amazing. It looks so comfortable. I feel like I was sitting in a library when I was driving in that thing.
It's just quiet.
It's quiet. It's amazing.
For what it's worth, at very high speeds, the road noise can be somewhat annoying. You will do better with
road noise though.
Like tire noise. You'll do better with
right.
In that situation, you'll do better with like a high-end Mercedes, like an S-Class or something like that.
Yeah,
because they'll have more insulation and they don't have aluminum bodies. They have steel bodies, so a little bit less sound transmission.
Yeah.
But that's not something we probably encounter in the U.S. in day-to-day driving. If you go on the Autobahn every day, that will be a minor annoyance. It's noise. It's not terribly loud.
Exactly.
Like wind noise, tire noise.
Yeah, when we were in the Lincoln Tunnel, like that was the opportunity that you could have revved that. Like, you slammed on the accelerator. That thing went fast.
Yeah.
It went from like 50 to like 101 in like.
I didn't quite go 101.
But I will say one thing though, when I was sitting in that car, is I kept getting distracted by the screen, right? It's a 17-inch screen. Now the thing is, I have a BMW. My parents do, right? And that tiny screen, it's not a big screen, but it's a tiny screen. And there was like a malfunction with that thing. It was like $5,000. Imagine, like, I'm just trying to think about it. How much would you have to spend for a Tesla's screen if that thing malfunctioned?
So the whole screen assembly alone is about, I think about $6,000. I believe it's the most expensive piece in the car that you might have to buy if your car's out of warranty and it breaks. Don't quote me on that. I don't actually know. Fortunately, I haven't had to replace it. Knock on wood. I hope I never have to.
Yeah.
I forewent the...
All right, stop.
That was
25 minute?
That was 20 actually. So.
Damn. 20 minutes.
Maybe come on again at some later time.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Sorry about the.
Do I have to clap again or no? Probably,
yeah.
right? All right, ready? If they could see it, all of them. Nope, one. Well, okay. All right. Yeah, so, that screen, though, like, that's what I'm saying is, like, the screen. So, with the BMW, that screen is tiny, and I had to spend, like, $5,000 just to get the thing fixed. Luckily, I didn't have to spend the $5,000. I just took it to my repair guy, and he, like, fixed one of the sensors in it and started
nice.
working again. But with the Tesla, is like, that's the entire car, because if you break the screen, you can't fix the headlights, you can't use, you can use a hazard button, but you can't do any of the vent stuff, no air conditioning, no heat, none of that stuff. And then what else? Like, there's practically everything in that thing.
So
no music, none of that stuff.
The actual driveline of the car is not in that screen. You could drive. I think you can drive without that component. I'm not sure. It wouldn't be very nice.
Right, of course.
Yeah, but all the stereo is in there. The car actually has multiple computers. There's the I guess the driveline control computer. There's that dashboard screen computer.
Yeah.
Then there's the instrument cluster, which is actually a separate computer. If you need to reboot them because you're having trouble with your Tesla, there's button combinations you do on the steering wheel. I rebooted the big screen.
Yeah, I saw that.
You're holding down the two dials.
That is so cool.
If you hold down the two
it's
top
like
buttons.
Your steering wheel is an iPhone. You're just holding down
Sorta,
the lock
sorta.
button and the home button.
But they're all linked by Ethernet, actually.
Oh, yeah?
Interestingly enough, yeah.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, that's the only thing that like really freaks me out about that is like any sort of, we all love tech cars and all of this stuff and futuristic cars, but it's like, one little malfunction or hack or something. That's another thing. Do you think the Tesla could ever get hacked by somebody?
I'd say there is a risk of that happening. However, I'm going to go be a tech guy here and say I think Tesla handles this sort of thing a lot more competently
I would
than older
understand.
manufacturers
They
like
would focus
Ford or
on
even the Germans.
Right.
So, I mean, we
Essentially,
routinely
you could
hear
hack
about
Mercedes as well.
Well, you hear about hacks from various other manufacturers on a regular basis. I mean, Tesla has had hacks, but we don't have that nature of hack usually.
Yeah. Okay. So you got this autopilot thing.
Yep.
You spend it's like $2,500
at that time.
Thankfully,
that was years ago though. It's quite
now it's
more now.
$5,000. So I'm assuming it's like a little bit more sophisticated or something.
It's
like that?
actually a lot different now.
Oh, is it?
My car has only one camera and radar.
Yeah.
So I can see going forward. Newer cars, newer Model S's, so starting year 2016 and a half, all Model X, the SUV, all Model Y now going forward. Now that's coming.
It's a Model Y now.
It's a small SUV. It hasn't been released yet.
Oh, it's like the X but smaller.
It's a small. Yeah, it's like a Model 3 Model X. So it's
a
small SUV.
X. Gotcha.
I think that car will sell really well.
I think so too.
It's like that's a car class that's big in the U.S. right now.
Because of the price?
Well, partly because of the price, because of the price, but also it's an SUV. People like small SUV. Not so much big SUV. We're not doing so much of that.
That is true, isn't it? It's kind of like it's like that Mercedes GLA. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
it's like that thing.
I don't know. I don't know the letter for the car, but
this one thing I did want to bring up with this because we're gonna bring this up. We're gonna put this hurry up with my damn croissants away. Yeah. So I want to show you guys.
Bless you. Sorry, might need to do that again.
Okay, let's see this. Who uses Yahoo? No, it's not the CLA actually. I'm sorry. No, I don't know why the Safari is like. Yeah, I don't know why it's like that.
Change your search provider setting.
I'm about to. There was what is it? CLA or CLS?
The small SUV?
No, yeah, the small SUV. What is that thing called, dude? Oh, GLA.
The GLA.
GLA. Yeah,
yes.
This thing. Yeah,
it's the mom Mercedes.
It's like this, right?
Yeah, the mom Mercedes. So I think
is this
quoted by my friend who owns
Is this what
one.
that is? Is this supposed to be the mom?
Well, he bought it for his mom.
Really? That's interesting. But so it's essentially going to be something like this, right? I mean, but this alone looks like it's the size of the X.
It's not as big as you think. I mean, the Model 3 is not a teeny tiny car either. I mean, if you can find a picture of 3 and an S.
Oh, the difference?
Yeah, the show or 3 and like a Mercedes S-Class or something like that.
Side by side. Look at that.
Yeah.
You got it side by side.
So you see they're not that's not a good example.
That's not a good one? What's a good one?
You can't really
What about this?
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, that's actually pretty accurate.
This thing, the shape
it's
of this
shorter.
looks kind of like the Jaguar, the FS. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, it looks like that. It looks like the shape of that. So
shorter, and it's a little bit narrower. You can't obviously see that in this picture.
So you have this.
I have this.
This looks really nice because it's a lot sleeker. This, when I look at this, I think of like I don't know, man.
Well,
I think it's like a compact, like cool-looking Prius, if anything. You know?
Oh,
I don't know.
I'm disappointed because I actually really like that car.
You like the 3 better than the S?
No, I like the S better, but I do like the 3. I don't see it as Prius. I mean, I think the cars are all a little bit too smooth. They do that for aerodynamics. It does give you better fuel economy, and with the electric car, of course, range.
Yeah. I mean, it's cool. It's cool. I like it. It's really sleek, you know, because it could have been. I mean, it could have, you know, looked like a Prius, honestly, right?
They could have made it look like a Prius. I think they tried very hard not to make it look like a Prius. It's like
really fight.
I can be nice to the environment, or so we say, without having to drive a potentially silly-looking car.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's like,
exactly.
The original Prius didn't actually look silly shaped. If you pull up a picture of a 2001 Prius.
2001 Prius.
Yeah. It looks like a normal car.
Oh, yeah.
It's just a small car, but it looks like a normal car.
Oh, wow. Wait, this thing was electric?
A hybrid. It's
a hybrid.
Same drivetrain as a more recent Prius, but not the stupid shape.
But now, like, let's see what these Prius. Yo, I'm not gonna lie, man.
The new Prius is not so bad.
They're not that bad. They're really not.
The generation really before it, like the 2005 to 2016.
Yo, these things look cool, man. Like, the front looks really cool, and the back looks kind of cool, too. They have, like, funky-looking taillights.
They said they were trying to get millennials to purchase the car.
You know what? Yo, but it's just a stigma that's, you know, carried on when you say Prius.
Yeah, and
just like, you got a Prius.
There are some good ideas about the Prius. There are some good things about it. I'm not going to say it's the worst car on the planet. It certainly isn't.
I'll be honest. If you took out that Toyota symbol and I saw this on the road, I would have been like, what is this futuristic-looking thing? Seriously, because it looks kind of cool, man.
You only have to put a body mod on it.
What?
You only have to body mod it.
Yeah, exactly. You know, put a nice color on it, red or something. You know, make it look flashy, something like that. But yo, I did want to talk. So mainly going back to the autopilot.
Yep.
The autopilot is really cool. The thing is, my Honda, I have like a 2017 or 18. I'm still trying to figure this out right now because I guess I'll figure it out when Honda blows up my phone talking about, can I get the lease back? So my Honda Accord has a lane departure feature and it has cruise control, right? Obviously. But their cruise control is a little bit different than your average cruise control. So when you put on cruise control, it, you know, sets the miles per hour, but it stays 30 feet right behind the car in front of you at all times.
I'd hope it's a little more than 30 feet, but
it is, yeah, probably like 50 feet. We'll say 50 feet.
Maybe depending on the speed you're going.
No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't depend on the speed at all. If you're going 30 miles per hour versus 80 miles per hour, it's gonna keep that distance at all times. If that car in front of me slows down, my car slows down to fix the 50 feet at all times.
That's not as ideal as I would like, because in my car, in the Tesla, you set the number of seconds behind you want to be, because you want to be further behind when you're at a higher rate of speed. If you're going 30, you could be a little bit closer than you could be when you're going.
So if you're going really fast, you could set 10 seconds behind it.
No, the maximum is 7. But
okay,
you set anywhere from
7
1 to
seconds is a pretty good time for you to like brake.
That's more than most people's following distance. Like you do that, everyone's like, well, why are you not following him? It's like,
yeah.
No, I'm just putting lots of time for safety.
Yeah. Okay, that's pretty cool. Yeah, so then the Honda also has a lane departure feature. So if you hit that and you're on, you know, it doesn't really work when you're in suburban neighborhoods and like, you know, in the town here.
More for the highway.
More for the highway, turnpikes, open roads, stuff like that, right? As long as it has the markings, the lane markings. But yeah, it just sits in the lane and then it will turn the wheel by itself and do that. And that's what your Tesla did. Right?
Yep.
But your Tesla is a little bit more sophisticated, though. I mean, your thing is like immediately stopping before hitting the car, and we're about to watch right now. I pulled up like Tesla predicts crash. They have a whole compilation. So, have you ever been in a situation where your Tesla immediately stopped without you noticing?
It's happened a couple times. A particularly funny time involved a wild turkey in Jamaica Plain, Massachusetts. Once you're in a local road, you're driving.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
You said a what?
I was on a local road, Jamaica Plain, Massachusetts. A wild turkey
walked onto the street.
Yeah, so a wild turkey starts running across the street. The car in front of me stops short, doesn't hit the turkey.
Yeah.
My car starts making a beep noise.
Yeah.
You'll hear this in the video.
Yeah.
It starts making a beep noise, and I stop the car and don't hit the guy in front of me. The car began stopping itself after having had the collision detection alert.
Yeah.
The guy on the other side of the road careened into the turkey and made it go flying.
Oh my God, R.I.P. turkey. But I mean, so the thing is, my Honda has collision sensors, but it's not as good as yours would be. Mine are more so like if I'm going too fast, where it obviously looks like I'm about to crash into the car in front of me, it'll brake really hard. and it'll jolt or something like that.
Yeah, well,
really
so my car will brake really hard for that. You can turn that off if you want. I have it set to early. You could set the early, medium, or late warning of collision.
That's pretty cool.
I have it set to early for maximum safety. It hasn't malfunctioned in a bad way.
Yeah.
So I haven't had it like stop the
but
car
you're just being cautious,
inappropriately.
if anything, yeah.
Well, yeah. Even I haven't had it stop at any inappropriate time. I've got a lot of miles of autopilot and regular driving as well.
Yeah.
Within very rural environments as well as situations like Manhattan.
Yeah. That is really cool. So we're gonna watch this video of Tesla's predicting crashes, which is really fucking cool because some of the guys that are driving these cars do not see, like more than half of the time they're not even seeing it. So I want to watch this one. I don't think I watched
that. Actually brings up a very important point.
Yeah.
That the cars it actually brings up a very important point. A lot of the accidents in driving are caused by humans having a relatively slow reaction time. So, if you go back to driver's ed, you see there's like 3 seconds before you can begin reacting to an accident.
Right.
It's also probably, you don't notice for like 1 second and it takes some time for your brain to do, I need to do this.
Yeah.
The computer doesn't have that problem. The computer can see, it sees in the camera, it goes. Boom. It can be instantaneous. That's why it's less, I wouldn't recommend doing it, but you can have a computer-driven car follow more closely than you would with a normal human driver.
Yeah.
Again, in good faith, I couldn't recommend somebody using, say, a Tesla and following that 1 second behind, but there are times when you could do that much more safely than with a human.
Right. Okay.
So it is a safety that we can't do with ourselves. With that, I the last person that wants to say we have a machine doing better than ourselves, but then again, this is why we have machines.
Yeah. So I was actually real quick before this, I watched like a video on. Well, did you see the Elon Musk thing where he's trying to build underground?
The tunnel thing.
Yeah, tunnels.
Yeah.
In LA. That's congestion problem. Obviously, if you guys are watching the news, New York has the same congestion problem. They're trying to toll and add about make everybody pay $13 to $15 just to come into the city.
Below 59th Street.
Below 59th Street, so all Midtown and stuff like that. So he's trying to build underground tunnels for these cars. So I was watching another video, I bring that up to say, is that I watched another video that was like, how do you completely eradicate all traffic jams, traffic in general, collisions? Is to turn every car into a Tesla, is to make them all autopilot. You just hop in, it drives at its own speed. Other cars are all on autopilot. They're driving at their own speed, and there's no way for you to get into an accident. There's no way for you to get into a traffic jam because majority of the traffic jams start is because one person
someone's not
delayed a little bit. They're not paying attention. They delayed a little bit longer than they should.
Don't hit the brake on the freeway.
Boom. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Or even the worst ones. There are times when I was stuck in a traffic jam, and it wasn't even a traffic jam because there was an accident in the road. It was because somebody got pulled over on the side and people were just staring. Look. And they slow down, and that's what causes a jam. And
I've always thought they should build a wall or something so we don't have people looking.
That's what I'm saying. Just cover it up. Put a shade so that nobody can see it. Move your water bottle.
Oh yeah.
All right, cool. Let's watch this thing. All right, so this is supposed to be Tesla's actually predicting.
Oh, that's near Seattle.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Oh god.
It's on the 405 up there.
So it's saying, will the use of autopilot prevent crashes like this? I haven't watched this either, so I'm trying to see where the fuck some of these crashes are occurring.
That guy.
Oh,
I was gonna say this is. I believe this is actually in Seattle. No, it's not. This is California.
But yeah, he was shook. So even that one, it was pulling it closer, and I'm just thinking about my Honda. My Honda would not fucking see that.
So this is important. My car doesn't. Remember, I mentioned the 1 camera versus the 8 camera system. My car wouldn't be able to do that
because it's not. You don't have cameras on the side.
I don't have camera on the sides. The new cars do. So that's something
That's probably why the autopilots are so much better, right?
That's part of it. They've also changed the underlying computer hardware, and some of the algorithms are different. But it does, for what it's worth, having driven an Autopilot 2 car, it does handle curves and things like that a little bit more smoothly than Autopilot.
Gotcha.
But also, this is certainly a major benefit.
But no matter what, whether it's the newer cars or your car, your GPS is always being updated anyway, right? So it's going to know every road.
Right, but the Autopilot doesn't actually use GPS.
Oh, it doesn't?
It may use it for speed data now, but it doesn't use it to actually know where to go, which is very different than GM system, which does use GPS.
But it's the maps on your computer.
Yeah, you couldn't use GPS accurately enough to be able to steer a car.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's see this. I want to see some crazy shit. Like I want to see like the
get some like Russian dash cam in here.
8-pile car mashup, and the Tesla dodges all of that shit. Let's see.
That wasn't too bad.
Well, I didn't even see it.
I didn't see what happened.
Oh, this one I think is really bad.
I don't think I've seen this one.
There's a Tesla in front of him too.
Oh shit!
Oh shit! What?
Was that crazy enough?
That's crazy.
Yo, that's
actually, it did it. Yeah.
It immediately stopped. But the thing is,
that was almost certainly the car because that was very quick.
Obviously, what I'm about to say would obviously lead into a crash, but I don't think the Tesla is noticing that there's a crash occurring. It just notices a fucking fast-ass car coming about to pass by.
I'm not certain that was the car, but I think that probably was the car. At least when the... Can we rewind it a little bit back to where that was happening? Yeah, because... There, yeah. So the car had... The fast car had obviously come into the field of view of the Tesla.
Yes.
Very shortly. Like, it looked like maybe a couple frames before.
Yeah.
The car can react very quickly, and that certainly does seem like something that the car could react to.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's hard. It was hard to say.
Yeah. Like 80 miles per hour, like something ridiculous.
Probably not quite that fast, but yeah.
Jesus. Ooh. Oh, he flipped the other car over. Jeez.
He'd be rolling.
Oh, my God. What else we got here? And then
this is also partly why I have a dash cam.
Yo, people are not shit, bro. They just walked right around it. Let's see what this is about.
This guy's gonna do something stupid.
Oh, is that what that beep was?
That was him turning the autopilot off.
Oh, okay.
That wasn't that stupid.
That wasn't that bad.
This is a Connecticut Turnpike up near Groton.
Oh shit! What the hell was that? Yo, how did that Tesla see that, bro?
I think this camera is in a place where the car can see something we can't see.
And then it swerved to the right because it was about to...
Yeah.
That was just stupid.
Mirrors?
Was not on the rear view mirror, but there are cameras facing... There's 8 cameras facing forward, back, left, right, and in the corners on the new cars.
Because I know in like some of the Accords, they have like some mirrors on the sides so that way you want to see like whoever's in your blind spot.
There is blind spot detection on the car.
Okay. That's really good.
I have the beeping turned off from it because it's annoying.
Oh, it looks like I think I watched this one. I don't know. Let's see this. Oh, this. Oh, shit, dude.
My car's actually done that in a traffic jam.
So just to like a disclaimer is like all these people are on autopilot. Like they're not steering or anything. It's just the car itself.
That might not even. I don't know if that would require being on autopilot. Not sure.
Oh, it doesn't even have to be on autopilot.
I don't know the exact intricacies of that. The auto stopping definitely can be done.
Oh my God.
That
is so cool.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
The car went forward by itself.
The car went forward because it thought that car was going to run right into it. That is amazing, dude. That is so cool.
That's scary.
That is scary as shit, dude. I would freak out.
Yeah.
Oh, it saw that too. Yeah, obviously you can see the beep. So that beep is what?
So that's the collision detection warning. The car beeps.
Thinking that it's going to hit
somebody. It'll be a little bit hard to hear because it's not very loud in the video. But
not even that. Yeah. Usually it beeps when the Tesla thinks it's going to get hit.
Well, the Tesla did think it was going to get hit. There's a chance that it was going to get hit because it can't predict what's going to happen.
Right.
But it is, obviously we should stop the car in this situation or at least reduce the speed significantly.
Yeah, but it beeped before that guy hit that car.
So that's a warning that the driver needs to get ready to pay attention and do something about something scary happening.
So it did predict the crash. That is so crazy. Oh my God, dude. How the F?
Probably the sudden drop in speed in that car.
Oh, is that what it is?
It's hard to tell in the video. Did that guy actually hit? Yes, his bumper's on the road.
Holy
This is up in Canada somewhere.
Dude. You said this was in Canada?
This is in Canada. You can tell from the street fixtures. It looks like this guy just...
He just cursed.
Looks like this guy just stopped for no reason. Maybe he's trying to do an insurance fraud.
Yeah, okay. Okay, well that's a good one because I would have...
Looks like Russia.
Oh, how did it see that?
I'm not sure if the Tesla actually did that one. That could have just been a driver.
Oh, you think it just I'm not sure. Autopilot or something?
It could have just been him driving. I mean, I would have probably done the same thing. This is good. This guy's falling asleep at the wheel here.
Dude,
Looks like.
my biggest fear.
I've seen that while driving. It's terrifying.
Bro, my two biggest fears, well, actually, one is a fear and one is just me just getting pissed, is when people just can't sit in their own lane. That pisses me off.
Yeah, people doing like that. Also,
They're like
texting while driving.
Yeah,
Please
oh my
don't do
God.
that.
And my biggest fear is when I'm trying to go into the middle, like let's just say there's 3 lanes, there's one on this side and me on the other side, is when I'm trying to go in, they come in at the same time and then slap. I hate that, dude. Now, obviously, it's never happened, and it's never gonna happen because I'm pretty attentive when I drive. But yeah, just alone. So I'm convinced I want to get a freaking Tesla. I think what's the number that we hit?
You're at 20 minutes now. I would wrap up next 30 seconds.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, we just talked about Tesla alone, man.
Yeah. All right.
Crazy. Do you still want to talk about guns?
Maybe we should save that for a second session.
We could talk about that in the second session. Because I definitely want to talk about guns. Obviously we'll do like a little preview about what we're going to talk about. Is you go to the gun range often?
Yes, I like to shoot. It's a good sport.
I've never been. And what's the age limit that you have to be to go into a gun range to even be able to shoot?
Well, generally you can shoot long guns alone. Usually
this one stopped.
Yeah. Just keep going.
Yeah. We'll just end it off on this one.
You can shoot long guns alone. Usually at 18 in most cases.
Yeah.
Usually you need to be 21 or accompanied to use a handgun.
21, you said.
21 for a handgun.
For a handgun, okay.
A pistol.
Yeah.
Revolver.
And then what about like other ones, like
so a long gun, like a rifle or something like that? You usually need to be 18 or accompanied by somebody.
I can't.
You can often rent guns at ranges.
Yeah.
So it's can be accessible. It depends on the state you're in. It very much varies.
How is New Jersey?
New Jersey is one of the most difficult states to do anything related to firearms. So you have very strict.
Rightfully so, man. Rightfully so. I can't trust anybody here.
And I can't say that New York is any better about this, much as a New Yorker we love to talk smack about New Jersey, but that one.
Well, I always thought New Jersey follows a lot of its rules or laws from New York. Like if New York changes something or legalizes something, then New Jersey follows immediately after like a little bit, right? But rightfully so. I don't trust 18-year-olds with a freaking firearm. I don't trust adults with a firearm. You know what I mean? Because I don't know what people are up to. I don't know what they're thinking. If I'm going to a gun range to practice shooting at not somebody, but like, you know, like a target, right? I don't know if people are going to come in there because they're depressed or because they are stressed or because they are suicidal or something like that.
So for what it's worth, gun ranges are actually some of the safest places you can go in the United States.
Really?
You know, what everyone in the gun range is doing, everyone has a gun in their hand. Most people are sane.
So if there's that one person...
If someone comes into the gun range and starts checking everyone in there and checking his
they're all going to point at
pointing
him.
a gun at somebody, everyone's going to turn around and shoot him. Like that's actually going to happen. It has happened on occasion.
You have the right in the gun range if you feel you're...
That would just be that's self-defense to the self-defense laws in your state. I mean, for example, in Florida, you think you're going to get shot, you shoot the guy. If you have the means to shoot the guy, regardless of be that a rented gun, your personal firearm, whatever that may be, you can shoot the guy because you're in self-defense.
Right.
That being said, the gun range is relatively safe. We have very few people getting killed. The murder rate at a gun range is approximately 0. It's pretty much unheard of. You do get a suicide once in a while. That's not terribly common. I think it happens... like 5 or 6 times a year in the whole country. It's really rare.
I know, and that's really
it happened a couple times in Easton, Pennsylvania a few years ago.
Oh yeah,
it was unusual because it happened a couple times in a single year at one given location. So that was unusual, but that generally doesn't happen. We don't have a lot of people dying or getting injured.
But they run your records and everything, right? Your driver's license.
Well, it depends on the situation. So usually, in some states you need to have a firearms license in order to shoot at the range.
Yeah.
In some states, you do not. I'm not going to go into that specifically right now because I'll probably screw up the information, and I'd rather not lead viewers to be confused.
Yeah. But I mean that's definitely a conversation to be had. It's going to be a very interesting conversation. But we got to cut it short, man. You know? A lot of people lose their attention span by this moment. You know, it's getting too long. But you don't have any social media, anything like that. Tell them about the blog that you're going to start, and then what it's about a little bit.
Absolutely. So
they know.
I'm really big into electric cars. I actually come from an electrical engineering background. This being said, I often end up in very long conversations similar to the one we've had today with people about the car. So people are always asking about it, and I said, well, maybe I should publish this. So that's pretty much where the idea to start the blog came from.
Yeah.
So I'm actually in the middle of working on that and going to do some, also develop some iPhone apps.
Nice.
Related to traveling by electric car. I have some ideas related to that. I'll get into at some later time. But yeah, currently working on building that out, just talking about life with the car.
Nice.
And various things like that.
Awesome. And that's your background too, right?
Electrical engineering, yeah.
Electrical engineering, so it works out well for you. Awesome, man. Yo, Rich, thank you for being on the podcast.
Absolutely,
man.
my pleasure.
I love talking about Tesla. You've convinced me to definitely get one in the near future.
I will say taking a test drive in a Tesla was the most expensive thing I've ever done because it resulted in me purchasing one.
Yeah, exactly. It's convinced you. So that's definitely what I'm going to do too, is I'll go test out a Tesla. I just don't know where to find them. I think there's one in Short Hills or something like that in New Jersey.
Yeah, pretty easy to find in malls for the time being. They're closing on us.
They look the shops basically look like an Apple store, right?
Yeah, well, you don't buy the car in there. You order the car online, even if you're in the store.
Yeah.
So the salesperson will help you with that, but you do order online, and they're actually closing a lot of stores. So I don't.
Yeah.
There'll certainly be some stores around here because we're near New York City.
Yeah.
You will be able to find a test drive. I'm not sure what their plan for test drives in the long term is.
Yeah.
As a result of that being the case.
Cool. Yo, thank you so much for being on the podcast. I really appreciate it. I could talk about cars all day, and I could talk about guns all day as well. Thank you, man. Appreciate that.
Absolutely.
And this is No Comment. My name is Akil. That's
Marino.
Rich. And peace out. Just drinking casually.
The weirdest thing is like eating like a salad while driving, like with a fork, and it's like,
yo, I just thought about that. So if you ever get Burger King or McDonald's, and you have a sauce packet, and you also have French fries, you could just use both hands and eat.
yeah.
You don't have to worry about shit.
I go to Chipotle and like get the bowl and eat the bowl in the car.
Exactly. And you have you have the internet here. You can look up stuff.
I'd rather this.
But you'd rather use that,
It's
right?
not
It
a great
doesn't
web
make
browser.
any
I'll say
sense.
that, but it is a web browser, so we can't really complain.
Right. So it's doing autopilot right now. It's doing really well.
Yeah.
Like I'm still scared. I mean, you've driven this car 80,000
You'll have
miles.
to trust my competence as a driver to not let it crash.
Right. But this is great.
Yeah.
though.
See, now I have to touch the steering wheel every so often.
So same thing with the Honda, except sometimes the Honda its lane departure does not work sometimes, But when you're on a highway and it's something like this, it's gonna work perfectly. And then every 30 seconds you do have to just tap the wheel to let it know that you're touching.
So I was changing the speed. I was trying to let the truck in, but I think he's doing an eventual left. So.
This is awesome.
So I can set the distance it follows the other car. You see, it's set to 75 right now. Obviously, we're not going 75.
Yeah.
And
So it keeps 20 feet behind the car, right?
It keeps some number of seconds. So I have it set to 7 seconds.
Who's honking at you?
I don't think they're honking at me.
So this thing has its own farting thing. Oh my god. I actually thought Josh was fucking farting in the front. And I put the windows down.
I wasn't sure if you opened the window to participate in the joke or but we were trying to fart on you. And you can also do fart
Elon has a sense of humor, man.
left steering wheel button.
Oh my god. And it says fart on demand.
Oh, so yeah, that means... Yeah, so fart on demand means I push the left steering wheel button and a fart happens, even with the window closed.
And then fart on turn signal?
Yeah, so you just do this, and you just drive, and you're like...
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Game 2.
Do you have Galaga on here?
No. This will command middle P and 10.
Oh, it has asteroids?
Fuck, yo.
It's an Atari.
What? Dude, can you literally play this while you drive?
No, you can only play it while you're parked.
Oh, that's so cool.
Because the joke is you do it while you're charging. You're at the supercharger.
Oh, because you're waiting.
Yeah.
That is so fun.
And we're charging at 90 kilowatts right now.
Is that fast?
It's pretty fast, yeah. Because the battery's pretty dead, so...
Yeah.
It's not particularly... Romantic moment. It doesn't actually turn the heat
Yo,
on.
this is like the Netflix thing. You ever see the Netflix show?
The Netflix Yule log?
What is it?
Is there a Netflix Yule log or something?
Yeah, no, it's just like a Netflix campfire, and it just shows you like a fireplace for
I
like
have
2
seen
hours
that.
straight, for like 6 hours straight.
So this eventually music starts playing. This kind of... Isn't this intimate? Pretend we're in a... Wait, you have that joint? We'll go up to a mountain chalet and play this? Oh, here comes the dank music.
I think you just press it, right?
He said
No, I didn't start the dank music. It does it after.
Yo,
like
this
a
is the
minute.
mood, bro. It actually plays.
No, you know what we gotta do? We gotta
Sure.
open this up, and it's like. That's only part way open, but it's cold out, so I don't want to
This
open
is
it more.
so fucking stupid.